Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome back once again to Upper St. Clair High School, home of the Panthers for boys volleyball. Tonight, the Upper St. Clair homestanding Panthers host the neighbor and arch rivals from just next door, the Blackhawks of Bethel Park. My name's Kevin McGahey. As always, I'll be with you all game long. My camera person tonight, I'm pleased to have Lizzie Kunkel working with me tonight doing the videography. Should be doing a heck of a job for us all, and I will get the starting lineup set for you. If you've seen any other of these telecasts so far this season, you know who they are already. Upper St. Clair is laden, well, laden, not exactly laden, but 2 seniors, 3 juniors, 1 sophomore start here. And usually we have Brett McCormick, number 23, sophomore, starting and doing the serving chores. Number 25, Kyle Shepner gets a start tonight. Both seniors are on the floor. We'll get to those in just a minute. Bethel Park off of Brett McCormick's wrist. Well, tough one. That one actually hit the ceiling. You might not have seen it on the telecast, but it did hit the ceiling. It's playable off the permanent obstructions. That one was off the ceiling. Fooled Zach Weber. Dribbles out of bounds, and Bethel Park draws first blood. It's early in game number 1. This is a best-of-5 match. First one to win 3 games wins the match. A game goes to 25. You have to win that one by 2, and Bethel Park is off to an early 1-0 lead. Pat Ty with a nice look at it, but it sails just wide out of bounds. Bethel Park keeps the serve, and that's Chris Ryan, number 15, doing the serving for the Blackhawks. Scott Perry, number 4, he's one of the 2 seniors right there with a hit attempt, and comes right back to the end, out of bounds. Works nicely for Scott Perry. Bethel Park unable to handle it and get it effectively to a set and an attack. Panthers, for their first point of the night. We're still early. This is game number 1. It's 2-1 Bethel Park. Junior Pat Ty heads to the back line for the serve, number 18. And we got to get Pat out of the weight room. That serve goes about 6 feet long. Service error, and the gift sends the point and the side out back right over to Bethel Park. And this will be number 32, Matt Shannon, a senior, doing the serving for Bethel. Bethel is heavily senior and junior oriented. They have only 3 sophomores on the entire team. Clay Mucha with a nice set. Clay Mucha with his first kill of the night. Panthers and Bethel Park trading points. So now substitution, Kyle Shepner, number 25 out. Number 24, sophomore Grant Bezick on the floor for the Panthers. And this is sophomore number 10, Troy Murphy, with the Panthers serve trailing 3-2. From the left side, Clay Mucha did a heck of a job getting that one back over off his chest. But a little push shot over to Clay's left scores for the Hawks, and it's a 4-2 Bethel Park lead. Substitutions, number 1 comes out for Bethel Park. That's Nick Thorson. Nice and easy. Zach Weber, the other senior on the team, comes up with that serve. Grant Bezick lofted it nice and easy over the net, but wide, and errors are giving the Bethel Park Blackhawks some early points in this match, and they lead 5-2. Still early, still plenty of time left. This is number 17 for Bethel Park, Joe Irwin. He's a junior doing the Bethel Park serving. From the back row, that's Scott Perry, who gets up nice and high, finds an open spot, and that's Scott Perry's first kill of the night. 5-3 Panther lead. Panthers get the serve right back, and Scott Perry gets the honors from way behind the back row. Top spin serve handled nicely by the Hawks, and the short set. Troy Murphy comes right back with it. Won't be much on it for the Panthers. Zach Weber keeping the ball in play. To the left side, no power from Bethel. Troy Murphy, just over Clay Mucha's head. It was a nice enough set. The timing was a little bit off. Clay Mucha fans on it. Error sends the point and the serve or back over to the Blackhawks. Number 30 on the floor for Bethel. That's Matt Capusta. Sort of a nice little back set by Troy Murphy, but Clay Mucha sails that one way long. Another point for Bethel, 7-3. Bethel comes in here actually pretty highly ranked. They're 5th ranked in WPIAL, and they are sitting pretty at the top of Section 1 with a 7-0 section record. Panthers in 4th place with a 4-3 record right now. And Bethel overall 10-1 pancake. Very nicely done by Joe Irwin to keep that ball alive. From the right side, Grant Bezick had a really nice look at it, got under the ball, sails it long again, and the Panthers now trail by 5, 8-3. Bethel leads Section 1. It's safe to say they've made the playoffs already, which start here in 2 weeks. St. Clair needing a win or two to assure their place in the playoff. They'll probably make it. Clay Mucha, little top spin, nothing serve. Roofing call. Well, that's one of these sort of like a goaltending call. The ball's got to have a chance to decide whether it's going to go over the net or not. That one, a reach over by the Panthers since the point, and the serve over to Bethel. Back set right side. Grant Basic had the right idea, just lofting it over the front line, but shoves it just about a foot out of bounds, just wide. Another point for Bethel, and that 5-point lead is back at 9-4. Games to 25. You got to win them by 2. Left side, Brett McCormick. Well, apparently got his whole foot over the black line. Oh, apparently not. Apparently not. Missed call by the down umpire on the far side. He was about to call a foot fault. You can step on the black line, but not over it. So we're doing the point over. No harm, no foul. To the front line, Troy Murphy, short set to Pat Ty. Pat Ty back to the left side, and Pat Ty, first kill tonight. Panthers get the serve back, and the point, trailing by 4. It's 9-5 Bethel. Nice floater of a serve by Grant Basic. From the back row, lands in. That was Michael O'Brien, the senior, charging that one from the back row. Finds a spot on the back right. Side out, and point Bethel. The 5-point lead is back. It's 10-5 Blackhawks. This is Nick Thorson, number 1 back, doing the serving for Bethel. On the 2 ball, Troy Murphy fools them. What they're expecting is that to be a set, excuse me, a set for an attack. And Troy Murphy, when he puts it over on the second touch, catches the defense looking. It happened that time. Brett McCormick, sorry. Rotations back to him with the St. Clair serve. Off the block. That was Matt Kapusta. Pat Ty lands it in. Pat Ty, 2 kills tonight for Pat. Brett McCormick again. Panthers back within 3. It's 10-7. Sort of a center, very nicely done. It's kind of a short set to the center position. And that was Matt Shannon who came up with that kill for Bethel. He heads to the bench. Chris Ryan, we're back to the opening rotation for Bethel. He's a senior with the serve. Well, that was kind of a clever idea. Scott Perry to Troy Murphy, but the set from Troy was a back set. Came up a little short, as did Pat Ty on the attack. He hammers it into the net. Point for Bethel. Try it again this time, Pat. Well, another pretty nice set from Troy Murphy. Pat Ty sails it wide into the Bethel bench, and now it's a 6-point lead, largest of the game and match so far for Bethel, 13-7. There's that back set. Works that time. That's that back set they were working on a minute ago. It was high enough, and Pat Ty, 3 kills already in game number 1. Side out, point to the Panthers. Senior Zach Weber with the serve. He's wearing the dark jersey. In case you don't know, that's the libero. The defensive specialist can substitute at any time he wants to, usually from the back row. Short set to the sort of the center, and dug out of there by Brett McCormick. Got it to the front line, but the awkward pass made Troy Murphy move to his right. Couldn't quite come up with it, and Bethel has that 6-point lead back at 14-8. Matt Shannon with the Bethel serve, heads right back. Short set into the St. Clair block and down. Clay Mucha and Scott Perry, the double block, did not prevent that one from just edging over the net. Dribbles down the front of them, and it's a point for Bethel. And now it's a 7-point lead, the largest of the match, 15-8. Scott Perry from the left side just dumping it over the net. Did not catch the Bethel Park Hawks looking, and that was Brett McCormick with the one wrister. Got it up to Troy Murphy, but it into the net. And once they get in that net, they're extremely difficult to dig out. Troy didn't have any help doing it, and that lead is now 8. Hawks have doubled up the St. Clair Panthers, a 16-8. That one was dug out by Troy Murphy. Great skill to have. From the back row, well, Panthers let that one go. Somebody probably should have dug for it, and that lead is now 9 at 17-8. Scott Perry, though, again, getting up way high with that overhead smash. Good form, good result. Point for the Panthers and side out. Number 24, Grant Bezic checks back in. Number 25, Kyle Shepner takes a break. He'll be back. Troy Murphy with that serve just over the net. Comes right back in the overpass. Zach Weber, nicely done. Both the seniors involved here. Weber to Perry to Weber. Weber again, nice dig keeping that one alive, and Scott Perry again with a chance. Grant Bezic was digging it out of the net. And hit the net. You're not allowed to do that. Net violation. Point for Bethel and a 9-point lead. It's 18-9. Set from Troy Murphy, the backside of the right side. Scott Perry into the Bethel block. Backset Bethel this time, and that one does. It's wide, but it's tipped. Somebody got a fingernail on it. Have to send one of these players to the salon to get those trimmed up, but it's 19-9, 10-point Bethel lead, and dangerous territory for the Panthers right now. Game goes to 25, and you have to win it by 2. Short set, and Mucha comes up with that one for his second kill. Side out and point for the Panthers. They finally hit double figures. It's 19-10, 9-point Bethel lead. Long back set and an awkward one at that. Zach Weber. What you want to do is make the defense move. That's what Bethel did. Zach Weber had a really good launch at it, but it came up into the net to the right of where Troy Murphy was standing, and now that lead for the Bethel Park Hawks is 10, largest of the game at 20-10. Little jump serve coming. Zach Weber handles it nice and easy, does it into the Bethel block. Troy Murphy again, left side. Brett McCormick over the block. Slicing attack attempt did not fool Bethel. That one heads out, no tip, no violation. Good point for the Panthers. Still needing a bunch of them right now, trailing by 9, 20-11. Game number 1. The match goes best of 5. Plenty of time for the Panthers to get back in this one. Boom, that went long, no touch. Matt Capusta, the junior, took a really good wallop at that, but it sailed just about a foot long. Now Clay Mucha, the junior, with the serve. Back set and big hit by Joe Malone, the junior, number 12. 21-12, 9-point Blackhawk lead. Left side, nice block. First one tonight. Pat Ty with the block for a point, bringing the Panthers back within 8. It's 21-13. Substitution. Kyle Shepner back on the floor. Grant Bezic headed to the bench, and Kyle Shepner with the serve. Zach Weber picking that one up. Troy Murphy on the 2-ball again, like he did before. Troy Murphy on that second touch. It's not a set this time, it's an attack. And the Panthers crawling back within 7. You get them back 1 point at a time. Kyle Shepner. In or out, tipped anyway. No matter, tipped by a Panther. Point and side out to Bethel. 22-14, 8-point Blackhawk lead. Troy Murphy with a set. Brett McCormick. One that nice attack attempt, sails it 4 feet or so long. Point for Bethel Park, and Nick Thorson continues with that serve. Bethel by 9, only 2 points to go in game number 1. Top spin serve, overpass. That's what happens on the overpass. That first pass needs to come to the front row. When it goes to the front row for the opposition, that's usually what happens. Is it gets pounded right back down on the polyurethane. Bethel Park did just that. That lead is 10, and now Bethel has about 10 game points in hand here. Troy Murphy with the set. Brett McCormick off the tip. 1 hit, 2, and Bethel does get it back. But some confusion on the back row. Kyle Shepner and Scott Perry didn't know who was going to go after that. And game number 1 ends in favor of the Bethel Park Blackhawks. It's 25-14, but that's only one. There's at least 2 more to go. We hope you'll stay with us for game number 2. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us, everybody. This is game number 2 of a best-of-5 match. Bethel Park, as you just saw, took game number 1, 25-14. The Panthers, we hope, will come back with a vengeance and see what kind of damage we can do to their side of the polyurethane this time. Bethel Park will have the first serve. That'll be in the form of senior Nick Thorson. Little jump serve, and it goes into the net. That's the thing about the jump serve. Once you're in the air, you're a little bit out of control, and it's one of those things that can really devastate the opposition or go smack into the net. I expect Nick's next chance at that will be a little bit different, but here's senior Zach Weber, number 15, with the St. Clair serve. And there's one of those you expect that set and the high attack to come at you with power. That time it just sort of gravity took over. Matt Shannon, the senior, just dropped it basically over the net. Side out and point for Bethel Park, and this will be senior Chris Ryan with the Blackhawk serve. Austin Everett, first time we've seen him tonight, into the Bethel Park block. It comes right back to him again for a second chance off the tip. And handled by the Blackhawks. No power. And that lands just long. Thank goodness for that one. Because that's one of those, you'll hear me say it again. You want to serve it, you want to hit it right on the back line. Get some indecision to the defense. They don't quite know what to do. Sometimes you can steal a point. No serve. Substitution called. The referee's whistle. Troy Murphy, number 10, the sophomore, will be doing the serving. Lobs it over and goes just long by about 3 feet. A gift and a point inside out for Bethel Park. Matt Kapusta Jr. with the serve for Bethel, and that one is just long. So what the serving gods taketh away, the serving gods give. Panthers get one right back, and it's junior Austin Everett, number 17, on the back line for the Panthers. Just over the net, a little bit of indecision, but it works out okay for Bethel from the back line, but no power. Saw set from Troy Murphy. Brett McCormick from the left side. Brett McCormick with his first kill tonight. The Panthers with a 2-point lead. The Panthers have already played Bethel at their place about 3 weeks ago and got shown out of there, having lost 3 games to none. Bethel being 5th ranked in Whoopial. And there's that little tap shot again, not doing it with power. It's not how hard you hit him, it's where. And Bethel is finding the open spot right now. Nick Thorson, number 1, goes out. Number 12, junior Joe Malone on the floor for Bethel. Otherwise, it's a senior-dominated squad for the Blackhawks. Joe Irwin, senior, with the Bethel Park serve. Troy Murphy sets it to Brett McCormick again. This time Brett McCormick just easing it over the net. Lift called. It was a slicing, non-powerful attack, but it worked out just fine for Brett McCormick. 2 kills tonight for Brett. Clay Mucha, the junior, on the back line for the serve. Back set, right side off the St. Clair tip, kept in the air. Troy Murphy right back to Brett McCormick again, and that one called in by the line judge. That's where you want to hit it, right on the back line. And it's a 6-3 lead. 3 kills for Brett McCormick. Clay Mucha once more with that serve. That one sails about 8 feet long. Too much time in the weight room, I guess, again. And the gift sends inside out and point back to Bethel, where Michael O'Brien, first time we've seen him on the floor tonight. He'll be his senior, and he'll be doing the serving for Bethel. Austin Everett. Short set. Troy Murphy to Pat Ty. 4 kills for Pat Ty. Substitution sophomore number 24 Grant Bezick out. Number 4 senior Scott Perry in, and he heads right to the back line to serve. Overpass and out of bounds. The libero number 20 Zach Smith, the senior, rattles off his wrist out of bounds, and remarkably enough, the Panthers have an 8-4 lead here in game number 2. Knuckle serve. Punched over the net by Pat Ty. No power for Bethel. Zach Weber overpassed the net. That's what happens. The pass went a little too far, and number 19 Mark Malone, the senior for Bethel, pounded it right back down. Point and side out for the Blackhawks. And this is Zach Smith, senior libero, with the Bethel serve. From the back row, Scott Perry. Back row attack for Bethel. Michael O'Brien finds nothing but net, which is not such a good concept in volleyball. It's good in basketball, but not so good in volleyball. Brett McCormick, the sophomore, number 23, serving for the Panthers. Knuckle serve, a real floater. Blocked right back and off a Bethel hand, Pat Ty. 2 blocks for points tonight for Pat Ty. The defense has come alive, and the Panthers with their largest lead by far of the night, 10-5. Brett McCormick again with that serve. There's the little back set, the ball off the Pat Ty, blocking it out of bounds. That time works out for Bethel. The rotation comes back around, and it's Nick Thorson, number 1, the senior, doing the serving for Bethel. Panthers with a 4-point lead at 10-6. Little short set on the left side, Austin Everett. From the back row, Scott Perry digging that one out. Back to Austin Everett again with the right hand off the block, off the tip, and works out fine. Austin Everett, far and away the leader in kills for the Panthers this season. It's his first one of the night. The Panthers maintain that 5-point lead. It's 11-6. Zach Weber again with that serve. To the net. Off the Austin Everett, blocking out of bounds. That was Matt Shannon. Off the block, substitution. Number 30 comes off. That's Matt Kapustin. Number 15 is on to do serving. That's Chris Ryan again. We've seen him serve tonight. Zach Weber to the net. Austin Everett from behind finds an open spot just to the left of Chris Ryan, and it's Austin Everett. 2 kills in game number 2. 2 kills tonight. Grant Bezick, number 24, the sophomore, back on, and Troy Murphy, number 10, the serve. Panthers with that 5-point lead, hanging in there, 12-7. Just dumping it over the net, and not enough for Troy Murphy to get to. Well, they're doing it with finesse this time, not with power. This is still game number 2 of this best-of-5 match. It takes 3 to win. Bethel's already got 1 game in hand. Lead is down to 4. Panthers in Bethel Park trading points right now. That's okay with the Panthers. Not so good for the Hawks. Right side, Austin Everett coming alive now off the Troy Murphy sets. Trading points is fine with us. 13-8, 5-point Panther lead. Junior Austin Everett, number 17. With a top spin serve, goes backwards. That's what you'll like to see. Means the other team won't have any powerful kill coming. Short set to the left side. Brett McCormick into the block. Rescued by Zach Weber and over. 3 great digs tonight for Zach Weber. Just pushed over. Oh, that caught the Panthers all crouched up, all crunched up at the net. And that left the far back corner open. Austin Everett with a good effort to try to get there. just out of his reach, and in the trade a point. The lead is 4. Panthers lead 13-9. Joe Irwin with the serve. Over on the second ball, but rescued that time by Bethel. Chris Ryan hoisted back. Clay Mucha, the set was a little short. Clay was hoping for a little higher set. He came up underneath it, sailed it way long out of bounds. And Bethel Park's back within 3. It's 13-10 Panthers. Game number 2. Short set, and finding the open spot in the back left for the Hawks, and they are suddenly back within 2. That 5-point lead has been scrunched down to 2. Joe Irwin back with the serve for Bethel. Brett McCormick. Oh, unfortunately, must have hit the antenna, that red and white pole you see that signifies out of bounds. That was a pretty good attack attempt rather by Brett, but it hits the antenna out of bounds. Point for Bethel. Austin Everett from the back row, but nicely done. Junior Austin Everett, 4 kills this game. 4 kills tonight. Panthers leads back to 2. Clay Mucha, number 11, junior, with the serve. Panthers need a couple of points run to get that 5-point lead back. Short back set. Clay Mucha came up, and that was probably going out of bounds, but it was brought back in by Joe Malone. Grant Bezic, nice look at it, but he got on top of it again. It's happened a lot for the Panthers. You got to get your hand on top of the ball to bring it down to the floor. If you get a little bit underneath it, it sails way long. That's exactly what happened. Point and side out to Bethel. Panthers lead by 1. Michael O'Brien, the senior, with a Bethel serve. Brett McCormick into the block and down. Nicely done by Brett. Had enough spin on it to get it by the 2-man Bethel block. 2-point lead for the Panthers, 15-13. Senior Scott Perry back with a serve. Big hit attempt by Matt Kapusta, and that one sails long. 3-point lead for the Panthers, 16-13. Now there's the 2 ball. The second touch fools the Panthers that time by the libero, number 20, Zach Smith. Here again, you expect that to go high for an attack, but it landed right in the center of the defense in the donut hole. And there's a serve that goes way, way wide. The Panthers back trading points. Works out fine. They have not relinquished the lead since extremely early in this game number 2. It's 17-14 St. Clair. Did not work that time. They're just a little easy dump over. And that one should sail long. Anybody touch it? No touch, no tip. Point Panthers. The 4-point lead is back at 18-14. Brett McCormick, sophomore, just getting the ball over the net. Pretty nicely done by Bethel. That one, when it hits the net, it throws all the timing off and the location of the ball. Rattles off a hand and out of bounds, and the lead is 3, 18-15 now. Number 1, Nick Thorson, the senior, with a Bethel serve. Set was behind Austin Everett. He ends up shoving it over the net. Tried again, short set to Pat Ty, goes right into the Bethel block. He was going to get it right over the front line, didn't quite make it. Bethel ends up with a point. Creeping back, hanging around within 2. 18-16, and Coach Jack Zebo takes that timeout. I know Coach Zebo wants to cool down the troops, make sure they don't lose their cools here. It's the first real timeout we've had to talk about anything tonight, statistics or otherwise. It's a pretty even offensive effort tonight for the Panthers. In the kills department, Brett McCormick, number 23, with 4. Pat Tye, the junior, with 4. And Austin Everett with 4. That leads the team. Scott Perry, the senior, number 4, with 2. Troy Murphy has 2 on those lovely two-touch, well, successful points. Clay Mucha, the junior, also with 2. Zach Weber, 3 marvelous digs to keep points alive. 2 blocks for points for Pat Tye, and oddly enough, no service aces, I don't think, for either team so far tonight. Usually you're able to fool a team and get 1 or 2 in there, but not tonight. There's some real encouragement here for the Panthers. Last time they played Bethel, they were wiped out in 3. Panthers need to maintain this lead, capture a few points, mostly get this side out right now from Nick Thorson. The receiving team has the advantage. They pick up the serve, and that works just fine. Troy Murphy knowing exactly what to do. It was an overpass. That's why I hesitated there. Overpasses can be dangerous for the offense because the other team gets a chance to really wallop it. Didn't work out. Point for the Panthers, and Zach Weber with the serve. A little slide play. You don't see that very often. That's where the hitter slides behind the setter. That's exactly what happened. Matt Shannon with the slicing attack. Trading points. Bethel gets it back. 19-17. Panthers lead by 2. Chris Ryan with the Bethel serve. Nothing but net. Nice opportunity for the Panthers now. They're in 20-point territory. Game goes to 25. You have to win it by 2. Panthers could use a little run of points right here to give them a nice cushion heading into 25-point land. That's Troy Murphy with a St. Clair serve. Off the tip, Troy brings it right back. 2 more hits allowed. Grant Bezic for 1. Brett McCormick just dumping it over the net. Slide play again, but blocked by Austin Everett and out of bounds. Bethel captures the point. Hanging around within 2. It's 20-18. Matt Shannon with the serve. Panthers needing the point. The receiving team has the advantage. From the right side, Austin Everett successful. 5 kills in game number 2. 5 on the night for Austin. Panthers with a 3-point lead, needing 4 to win. Austin Everett with the serve. Sort of a twisting it. Landed right on the back line. Yeah. That was in. That's where you want it. I was talking about that before. Indecision by the defense because they think it's going out, and it landed right smack on the line. First service ace of the night, and it's from Austin Everett. 4-point Panther lead, 22-18. It's playable if they can get to it. Austin Everett finds it. It's got to go over. It went way up in the structure. Rattled around there and came back. Oh, off the block. Grant Bezic was right there for the block, but a dribble down the front of him. Bethel Park captures control of the ball. Panthers with a 3-point lead, 22-19. Short set. Clay Mucha. 3 kills and a 4-point Panther lead. 23-19. What a confidence builder. If the Panthers can come away with game number 2 here, Clay Mucha with that little hop serve. Back set, tough angle, but it does the slice. Fools the Panthers. Grant Bezic had his hands on it. It dribbles out of bounds into the scorer's table. Substitution, Matt Kapusta back on the floor for Bethel. Chris Ryan taking a break. Michael O'Brien, senior server. Left side, Brett McCormick, and down, but oh, Bethel in the net. Somebody was in the net. It was a Bethel player. Brett McCormick with a kill, and the Panthers now with 4 game points in hand, trying to even up this match at 1 game apiece. Senior Scott Perry with the serve. Little twisting serve, heads right back to the net for the left side, off the St. Clair block, and unfortunately into the net. That's why you should be wearing the skin-tight t-shirts, because I think it brushed the net there. Unfortunate, because the Panthers had a good look at that. Brett McCormick finishes off game number 2. Panthers beating Bethel Park 25-21. That way we know this match will go at least 4 games. Stay with us, everybody. More volleyball coming right up on Cable 7. Stay with us, everybody. That was Joe Malone with the kill for Bethel Park. They draw first blood in game number 3. We're all even up at a game apiece. A match goes to the best of 5. First one to win 3 games wins the match. As you've already seen, games go to 25. You win them by 2. And there's a little jump serve by Bethel, handled nicely by Brett McCormick. Just wide. Austin Everett had a pretty good eye on it. Oh, it was a tap apparently. No. It is for Bethel. Sorry about that. The scoreboard lit up 1 for St. Clair. But it was a Bethel Park successful serve. That one lands in. There's that devastating jump serve. Jump serves, they get up in the air and you put a topspin on them. So they approach the net and then just dive for the floor. 3-0 Bethel Park early here in game number 3. And some confusion on the Panthers side. It landed sort of just to the right of Zach Weber, but he wasn't sure whether he was going to get any help or not. And it's a 4-point run for Bethel to start game number 3. And that one is out. Hammered just about 1.5 feet long. And the Panthers get their first point of game number 3. Zach Weber, the senior libero, to the back row to serve. Nice pancake, nicely dug out of there by Scott Perry. Yeah, looks good, good shape too. I was afraid that might be a roofing call. Scott Perry with the miracle dig to keep that ball alive. Panthers back in it. It's 4-2 Bethel. Lands in, called in, yes. Big kill from the left. Serve just lofted a 5-2 Bethel lead from the left side. Austin Everett, nice and easy done. Good set, good attack, good result. Austin Everett, 7 kills on the night. Grant Bezic, number 24, the sophomore checks in. Senior Scott Perry goes out. Troy Murphy with a sailing knuckle serve. Gravity was not working with him. Stiff upward air current kept that one high, and it's a point and side out for Bethel. (6-3) Bethel. Nick Thorson, the senior, on the back line for the Bethel serve. Nothing fancy on it, a little knuckler, but almost an overpass, rescued out of there. And there's that little just dink and dunkin' soft cell shot that just makes it over the front line. Point for Bethel. What does this hand signal mean when the referee does this? Troy Murphy with the set. Little back set. Austin Everett might have gone out, but brought back in by Bethel. On the block for the point. Clay Mucha and Austin Everett.
3-3 time.
You have to depress me. Austin Everett. Nice little serve. Wow, sort of a from the back row. Austin Everett with power. Same thing for Bethel, but this time it works. It goes just to Zach Weber's left. It rattles off his hand and out of bounds, and it's a 4-point Bethel lead at 8-4. This is game number 3. The match is best of 5. First one to win 3 wins the match. Chris Ryan, the senior servant for Bethel. Troy Murphy short set, and it fooled Clay Mucha. Timing a little bit off. The set was pretty good. Clay was a little bit in advance of it. It was weird. It sailed over Clay's hands, touched by a Bethel player, and out of bounds. From the left side, Michael O'Brien finds nothing but net. Side out end point for the Panthers, trailing by 4. It's 9-5. Junior Clay Mucha to the back line with the serve. And a nice one, too. Second service ace in the night for the Panthers. First for Clay Mucha. It landed right at the feet of Nick Thorson in the back row. 9-6 Blackhawks. Same serve, different result. Back set, and there's that little dump shot. Matt Shannon is tall, gets way up there and has a chance to just loft it over the front line blocks of the Panthers. And that was Matt Shannon, that is. Heads up for the serving chores. Pat Ty, pretty decent looking set. The timing was off. Pat whiffs on it. And the lead for Bethel is 5 now at 11-6. Serve fooled Brett McCormick a little bit, but Zach Weber takes over, makes sure the ball stays in play. Set to the left side. Michael O'Brien with power off the fingertips of Zach Weber and out of bounds. And that lead now for Bethel is 6. It's 12-6. Matt Shannon once again with the serve. Short set, Pat Ty. Handled by Nick Thorson from the back row. Matt Shannon again. Point for Bethel. The lead is now 7, and Coach Jack Zebo taking a very timely timeout to make sure this game number 3 doesn't slip away. The Panthers had a really fabulous game number 2 just then, and I'm sure Coach Zebo doesn't want to see this one get away as game number 1 did. It's a 13-6 Bethel lead right now. Austin Everett now where he belongs, leading all scorers with 7 kills tonight. Brett McCormick, the sophomore, with 6. Pat Ty hanging in there with 4. Troy Murphy with 3. Clay Mucha with 3. And Scott Perry with 2. The most notable development so far is 2 service aces here in game number 3. We saw none for the Panthers in the first 2 games. But right now, the offensive attack of the Bethel Park Hawks is doing some damage to the Panthers. Now let's see if Upper St. Clair can get a hold of this first serve, use it, and get the first shot at a kill. Brett McCormick into the Bethel block, but handled. Nice reaction by Pat Ty. The 2-touch does not work for Bethel. Brett McCormick, though, with that little dinking shot, and works. Brett McCormick with a little soft soap. Indeed gets the side out, and point for Upper St. Clair, and senior Scott Perry, number 4, to the back line with a serve. Michael O'Brien, but handled by Austin Everett. Brett McCormick again, but no real power on it. Zach Weber taking one for the team, and a double hit called. Hope Zach's okay. It takes quick reactions to succeed in this game. Zach Weber's got him. It's a 14-7 Bethel lead. Well, lift called. He didn't quite get down low enough on that to keep his hands above the ball or under the ball, but a lift called. Not much you can do with it. 8-point Blackhawk lead at 15-7. There it is. I talked about it last game. That serve was headed right and landed right on the back line. And the defense let that one go. Service ace for Bethel Park. And Joe Irwin has himself another another chance at the serve. Pat Ty. Slicing attack. Zach Weber covers that one. But McCormick off the Bethel block, pops it right up in the air where you want it, but it was right at the net. So now Bethel doesn't have a chance for a kill. But Troy Murphy, hoping to fool him on the 2-touch, finds nothing but net, and it's now a 10-point Bethel lead, 17-7, looking more like game number 1 right now than game number 2. Joe Irwin serving again for Bethel. Short set, Pat tie. Short set was just a little too short. Pat hammers it into the net, and that lead is now 11 at 18-7. That serve handcuffed Brett McCormick. I wouldn't want to be out there trying to return this stuff. That was a knuckle serve, a floater, and it trailed off to Brett's left into the St. Clair bench. The lead is now a 12 for Bethel. Pat tie, though, off the net, off the block, and Pat tie. 5 kills tonight for Pat. Brett McCormick doing the serving. Just barely over the net, but dug out of there by the Hawks. Joe Malone with the attack into the St. Clair block, rather, and out of bounds. Point to Bethel, and they've got a commanding lead now in 20-point territory. It's 20-8. They're back to the jump serve, and that goes way long. Good decision by Scott Perry to let that one go. The gift sends a side out and point right over to our Panthers. Zach Weber, the senior, with the serve. A little back set and with power. Not much St. Clair could do with that one. That was off the hands of Joe Malone. He had the attack, the kill rather. And Scott Perry could not come up with it. It was to his left. 12-point Blackhawk lead at 21-9. Austin Everett, and that one works. Here it is. Not how hard, it's where. Austin Everett. 8 kills tonight. Side out and serve for the Panthers. Substitution, Scott Perry once again goes out. Grant Bezic, number 24, in, and Troy Murphy, the sophomore, with the single serve. Works out for the Panthers. A nice set and attack, but Joe Malone finds nothing but net. Point for the Panthers, trailing now by 10, 21-11. Serve taps the net, you can play it. And there's the overpass, Austin Everett. When the serve taps the net, it throws the timing and location way off, and that overpass, a rare overpass by the Hawks, sent it right back to the net. Austin Everett took care of business. The serve continues. Jump serve now from Troy Murphy. Brought out of there by Bethel, and just Matt Shannon, the senior hitter, took care of business. The lead is back to 10. It's 22-12 Bethel. Unusual play. There was a bit of an overpass by Zach Weber. Troy Murphy rescued it, kept it on our side, but didn't make its way to a hitter. And now this is dangerous territory for the St. Clair Panthers at 23-12. Bethel pretty much in command right now, but Austin Everett finds the floor here again. Now Austin Everett and the Panthers playing that game that the Bethel Park Hawks are playing in game number 2. The little dink and dunk, the little soft over the front line stuff. It works when you're not expecting it. That's the element of surprise. So's that. Matt Kapusta, one of the 2 juniors on the Hawks, and now it's something like 11 game points for Bethel Park. Chris Ryan, number 15, subs in to handle the serving chores on game point. 24-13 Bethel. Brett McCormick, but it sailed. Lands in. Looked like it sailed long from here, but Brett McCormick lands it on the back line. Clay Mucha with a serve. Panthers trailing by 10, 24-14. This is game number 3. There will be a 4th game. Michael O'Brien making this one, and just like game number 1, the score 25 for Bethel Park, 14 for the Panthers. It's 2-1 Bethel. We'll take one more quick break. We'll be right back for game number 4. Stay with us, everybody. There's more to come. It's 4 of tonight's match. It's Tuesday night, April 29th, 2008, and the Bethel Park Blackhawks have come to visit the Upper St. Clair Panthers. We've had a pretty interesting match so far. Bethel Park has handled the Panthers in games 1 and 3. 25-14 is the identical score. Panthers came back in game number 2 to win that one 25-21. And let's see what coach Jack Zebo can pull out of his bag of tricks to give the Panthers game number 4, so we can maybe take this into a 5th and tie-breaking match. Seems to be some issues with the lineups over on the far side right now. We thought everybody was set, but it's pretty much the standard lineup right now that the Upper St. Clair Panthers have used most of the season long. Austin Everett, junior, number 17. Zach Weber, number 15, is a senior. Scott Perry, number 4, is the other senior. There's only 2 of them. Pat Ty, junior, number 18, and 2 sophomores on the floor right now. Number 23, Beth McCormick, and number 10, Troy Murphy. And Bethel Park gets the first serve in the form of number 17, Joe Irwin. And we're underway with game number 4 rather, excuse me. 2 games to 1, Bethel. Short set, and off the Pat Ty block, Bethel Park draws first blood again in game number 4, 1-0 very early here, the 4th game of this match. Joe Irwin still with the Bethel serve. Rolls it over the net. Those are playable. When you and I were growing up, all us old fogies, you could not play a net serve. You did it over. But in this game, where the points go to 25 instead of 15, those serves are legal, and so you can just teach that every time. It's a powerful serve and an ace. And another one, back-to-back aces for Bethel. Scott Perry got under that one, could not bring it back up to be playable. Austin Everett recovered, saved in there by Zach Smith for Bethel. Austin Everett again off the block, this time and down. Austin Everett. 11 kills tonight. Panthers get the point and side out. Zach Weber wearing the libero shirt, serving for St. Clair. Hard, low driving serve. Joust at the net. Yeah, 4 hits called. Sort of a joust at the net. Now here the Bethel Park coach rightly is looking for a touch, but it's a 4-hit call. Everybody settle down. Point for the Panthers, and it's 3-2 Bethel. Another low, hard driving backspin serve for Zach Weber. Off the St. Clair block. You pop it up in the air. That's what you want. But Troy Murphy pancaked out of there. Well done, St. Clair. Thought that I gave that one up for loss, and a double hit called. That dig kept it, keeping the ball alive. Was the secret to that point for the Panthers, and they've knotted it up at 3-all. And Zach Weber still with the serve. 3-point run for Bethel, 3-point run for St. Clair. Short set, and Brett McCormick got one wrist on it, but it carried off on his left wrist out of bounds. Point and side out to Bethel. Senior Michael O'Brien with the serve. Hard driving serve, but Zach Weber scraping it off the floor. O'Brien off the net, but it pops right up so the Panthers can use it. Austin Everett finding the polyurethane. 12 kills for Austin Everett, all tied up at 4. Grant Bezic, we've seen this before in game number 3. Grant Bezic, the sophomore front row player. And Troy Murphy with the serve. Good attempt. Austin Everett got the block, popped it up, but could not maintain it. Point for Bethel. Zach Smith, number 20, with the serve for the Hawks. Well, nicely just popped up in there just enough for Matt Shannon to draw a bead on it and pound it down to the Panther polyurethane. Nice alliteration there, I should think. And a 6-4 Bethel Park lead. Oh, great fortune for the Panthers. A net call when really Bethel had control of that thing. Somebody, I'm sorry, I couldn't see who it was, in the net for Bethel, and the violation says the point and side out to the Panthers. Austin Everett did that serve. And there's well, we've seen that happen for the Panthers a couple of times tonight. Now it happens for the Blackhawks, where the set goes over the head of the hitter and works out great for the Panthers, and this match is all tied up at 6. It's unusual for Jack Zebo to take a timeout at this stage. Is actually things are working out for the Panthers. He's unhappy about something. I can't really tell what it is from here. Well, let's hope he fires up the Sumter St. Clair Panthers to put game number 4 in our hip pockets. Meanwhile, Austin Everett, where he belongs, leading all attackers and killers for the Panthers with 12 tonight. Brett McCormick now a distant second. He was leading everybody earlier on this evening. He's got 8 rather, excuse me. Pat Tye with 5. Zach Weber, though, finding the play in the floor, digging things off that have no right to be brought back in play. That's why you have defensive specialists and liberos. The enthusiastic crowd cheering on the Panthers now to see if we can't get this lead here in game number 4. It's all tied up at 6 right now. Austin Everett, the junior, serving. Well, Troy Murphy did get a hold of it. Popped it up, but it came too far towards us over here in the stands. Side out, point and serve for the Bethel Park Hawks. 7-6, 1-point lead for Bethel. Little back set. Oh, Grant Bezic really hammered that thing, but it came up about 6 inches short of going over the net. Point for Bethel, 8-6 lead. Little touch play, not much power going on here. Same again, but it goes right into the block of Joe Irwin, the senior for Bethel. Comes right back to the Panthers side. It's a little 3-point run for the Bethel Park Hawks coming out of the Jack Zebo timeout. Nick Thorson, number 1, once again with the Bethel Park serve. Just over the net, but dug out of there by Brett McCormick. Just long and wide. Now it's a 4-point run for the Bethel Park Hawks. I'm sure that's not what Coach Zebo had in mind when he called that timeout, but such it is. Nick Thorson again with a serve, and the Panthers needing a side out to break this string right here and now. Short set into the Bethel Park block. Back set, Grant Bezic just touching it over, but it goes just out of bounds wide. Point for Bethel and a 5-point lead at 11-6. Good decision that time. It was headed for the back line, but it sails about 2 feet long, and the service there gives a gift to the Panthers, breaks that 5-point run of the Hawks. Panthers trail by 4. It's 11-7 Bethel Park. Slide play working again. That fools everybody. You think that set is going forward from the setter, number 17, but it heads up back over his head. Number 32, Matt Shannon, has crawled behind him, and the slicing attack gets the point for Bethel. Michael O'Brien into the double St. Clair block, and Bethel with another point. Now that lead is 6 at 13-7. They've outscored the Panthers 7-1 here in the past few minutes. Chris Ryan just dumping the ball over the net. Left side, Brett McCormick off the Bethel block. Brett McCormick getting a well-needed point for the Panthers. Sub back on the floor, senior Scott Perry. Panthers trailing by 5. It's 13-8. Little awkward set, didn't bring much for the Hawks. Brett McCormick into the Bethel block, and Pat Tye Well, he was trying to loft it just over the net and over the defense. Didn't quite work. Hit it into the net instead. Side out point for the Blackhawks, and it's a 6-point Bethel Park lead now at 14-8. Little set to the back row. Scott Perry got it, but it rattles off his right wrist out of bounds. And now the lead, the biggest lead of game number 4, is 7 for Bethel now at 15-8. Matt Shannon, the senior, number 32, with the serve for Bethel Park. Brett McCormick off the block, but handled well by the back row of the Hawks. Same result for the Panthers. Brett McCormick again, but gets way under it and sails it long. 8-point Bethel lead now, 16-8. Nice and easy on the serve. Brett McCormick to Troy Murphy, right back to Austin Everett on the back row. Just dumping it barely over the net and a little over anxious. Yeah, Joe Irwin's eyes got big as frisbees just then. Thought he had a juicy one, but finds nothing but net side out and point to the Panthers, trailing by 7, 16-9. Brett McCormick serving. Scott Perry digging that thing off the dirt. Yeah, and sort of an overhand smash by Mark Malone, senior. We haven't seen him since game number 2, but he captures the Bethel Park point. It's an 8-point Blackhawk lead, 17-9. This is game number 4 of this best-of-5 match. Bethel wins it, we all go home. St. Clair wins it, we play a 5th and deciding game. Left side, Austin Everett, sure enough, off the block, off a wrist, and down. Austin Everett, 13 is his kill number so far in this match. 17-10 Blackhawks. Playing a little patty cake at the net. St. Clair now with a chance to use it. Austin Everett with the attack, goes way up in the structure. Bethel comes down with it, left side, and into the St. Clair block. Shoved way out of bounds by Joe Malone. And the Panthers, point by point, creep back in it at 17-11. Zach Weber just punching it over the net. Short set and successful kill for Bethel. They break a little short Panther run here. The lead is back to 7 at 18-11. Michael O'Brien, the senior, serving for the Hawks. Little jump serve. Austin Everett, but right into the block. He had the right idea again, trying to get it over the Bethel Park front line. Didn't make it, and it's 8-point lead now, 19-8. Panthers in some dangerous territory now, and Coach Jack Zebo takes one more timeout. I'm sure he's not real happy with the way this has gone, since the game was all tied up at 6-6 at one point. And since that time, the Bethel Park Hawks have outscored the Panthers 13-5 to build that lead where it is right now to 8. As you know, these games go to 25. You win them by 2. And the Panthers needing a pretty decent string of points right now to send this one into a 5th and deciding game. Austin Everett still leading everybody with 13 kills. Brett McCormick 9, Pat Ty 5. Michael O'Brien once more with the Bethel Park Blackhawks serve. Troy Murphy, Austin Everett got over his head. Still got a good bit of power on it, but that one comes out of nowhere and lands just to the left of Brett McCormick. And now the Panthers are in some pretty serious danger. 20 points. They're at 20. The Bethel Park Hawks are with a 9-point edge. Michael O'Brien again with the jump serve. Handled by Brett McCormick. Short set, Clay Mucha, but into the block. Bethel defense has been stellar tonight. Their blocking has been stupendous. Well, that didn't work out just then. Austin Everett gets credit for that kill. But the front row play has been very good for Bethel tonight. The lead is down to 8. It's 20-12. And that's sophomore Troy Murphy with the St. Clair serve. Into the Austin Everett block. He tried to loft it up. Got called for the carry instead. And the Hawks have reached 21 now. It's 21-12. Panthers still with a chance to go. Oh, Brett McCormick drew a beat on it, hoping to one-hand it over the net. Didn't quite make it, and the lead is now 10. It's 22-12. This is game number 4. This will be the deciding game if Bethel maintains his lead and comes away with it. Nice little hop serve. Troy Murphy over to Austin Everett. That's a roofing, yeah. Yeah, that's goaltending is what that is. The ball wasn't even near the net. And Zach Smith reached over and hammered the ball down before the ball even got close to the net. Well, I don't know what all the controversy's about. Seemed pretty obvious to me. And Bethel's pretty much in control here. 1 point is not going to matter one way or another. It's Panthers are going to claw themselves back into this. It's still possible. It's not likely, but it is possible. 9-point deficit, 22-3. Well, there's one back. Matt Shannon finds nothing but net. And here's Austin Everett continuing with the serve. Panthers down by 8. Oh, that little punch with the top spin finds the center of the donut hole, right in the center of the defense. And it's 23-14, 9-point Bethel lead. And Nick Thorson, we called his name a lot tonight, had a lot of serving opportunities. Panthers would like to get this side out and get control of this ball back. Scott Perry, well, pretty decent back set. Scott Perry sailed that one about 20 feet long, and now it's all over but the shouting. Now it's 24-14, 10 match points in hand right now for Bethel. Nick Thorson with that serve. From the back row, Michael O'Brien, but into the net. Panthers still alive. 24-15, and Clay Mucha, the junior, with the serve. Lofting the ball over, no danger there. Slide play one more time, and it works again. Worked all night long, and that will do that. The Panthers drop 1-2 the Bethel Park Blackhawks. There's really no shame in that. They're 5th rated in Whoopial. The Panthers lose 3-1 by scores of 25-14 Bethel. St. Clair won game number 2, 25-21. Game 3 went to the Blackhawks 25-14, and right there game number 4, 25-15 Bethel Park. Well, we're glad you were with us all night long. There's still more volleyball, more matches to play here on Upper St. Clair Cable 7. My name's Kevin McGahey. Lizzie Kunkel has done all the camera work for me tonight. Glad to have her along. Thanks a lot for the help. And with that, good night, everybody, and stay with us for future matches on St. Clair Cable 7.